Andy Jiang, a sprightly 75-year-old, had always envisioned his retirement as a time of travel and leisurely pursuits. He dreamed of wandering through the cobblestone streets of European cities, tasting exotic cuisines and immersing himself in different cultures. He pictured himself exploring new countries with his wife, indulging in hobbies he'd neglected, and enjoying the fruits of his long years of labor. Andy had a list of activities he wanted to try, from painting to learning a new language and even taking up gardening. He decided to move in with his son's family, a decision that initially seemed like a perfect solution. The idea of being close to his grandchildren and sharing daily moments with them filled him with joy. It promised family togetherness and support. Andy imagined family dinners filled with laughter, stories, and a sense of belonging that he cherished deeply. Little did he know, this new chapter would unfold quite differently than his retirement dreams. The reality of living with his son's family brought unexpected dynamics and adjustments. The initial joy of being surrounded by family soon gave way to unforeseen challenges. The bustling household, filled with the energy of young children and the constant comings and goings, became overwhelming. The once spacious house felt crowded. Andy found it difficult to find a moment of solitude amidst the lively environment. The constant buzz of activity disrupted the peace he craved. The noise, the interruptions, and the lack of personal space began to take a toll on his well-being. Andy found himself yearning for his own space, a quiet corner where he could unwind and savor his golden years in tranquility. He started to miss the calm and the freedom he had once envisioned for his retirement, realizing that this new chapter, while filled with love, was not always rosy. The first few months were blissful. Andy and his family were in a state of euphoria, enjoying each other's company and the novelty of being together. Family dinners were filled with laughter, stories, and a sense of unity that warmed everyone's hearts. Andy enjoyed sharing stories with his grandchildren, watching their eyes light up with wonder and curiosity. He helped with chores, relishing the opportunity to contribute and feel useful in the household. But as weeks turned into months, the dynamics began to shift subtly. The initial excitement started to wane. The initial novelty wore off, replaced by a creeping sense of unease. Andy began to feel like an outsider in his own family. The family's routine, once a source of comfort, began to feel intrusive and overwhelming for Andy. Andy, accustomed to his own schedule, felt his days dictated by the needs of others, leaving him feeling out of control. He missed his morning walks, his afternoon naps, and the simple pleasures he once took for granted, like reading a book in peace. The constant togetherness, which had once been a source of joy and connection, now felt suffocating and stifling to Andy. He longed for a balance between family time and personal space, a way to reclaim his independence while still being part of the family. The transition from independent patriarch to a somewhat dependent senior was particularly jarring for Andy. He had always prided himself on being the rock of the family, the one everyone turned to for advice and support. He'd always been the provider, the decision-maker, the one who held the family together through thick and thin. His role was clear, and he embraced it wholeheartedly. Now he often felt like a guest in his own son's house, his opinions carrying less weight than before. The once vibrant conversations where his words were eagerly awaited had now turned into polite nods and half-hearted acknowledgements. This shift in dynamics, however subtle, chipped away at his sense of self-worth. The man who once stood tall and confident now found himself questioning his place in the family. He found himself hesitant to express his needs, afraid of being perceived as a burden. The fear of being seen as needy or demanding kept him silent, even when he longed for companionship and understanding. He yearned for the days when he could set his own schedule, make his own meals, and live life on his own terms. The freedom to decide what to do and when to do it was something he deeply missed. The life he envisioned in retirement seemed a distant dream. He had imagined a time of relaxation and joy, surrounded by family and friends, but the reality was far from what he had hoped for. The sense of isolation and the loss of control over his own life weighed heavily on him, making each day a struggle to find meaning and purpose. Andy's story is not unique. Many seniors face similar challenges when they move in with adult children. The reality of multi-generational living often clashes with the idealized vision of a happy, harmonious household. The lack of personal space, the shift in family dynamics, and the loss of independence can take a toll on everyone involved. Retirement, once anticipated as a time of freedom and relaxation, can morph into a period of adjustment and compromise. The dreams of travel, hobbies, and leisurely pursuits often take a back seat to the demands of family life. Section 5. Reaching the breaking point, a cry for space. The breaking point came when Andy overheard a conversation between his son and daughter-in-law. They were discussing the challenges of accommodating his needs, the strain it put on their schedules and finances. Though spoken with love and concern, their words stung. Andy realized then that his presence, however well-intentioned, was inadvertently causing tension. He decided to reclaim his independence, not out of anger or resentment, but out of love and a desire to see his family thrive. Section 6. Rediscovering peace, the perks of separate living. Moving into a small apartment nearby, Andy rediscovered the joys of solitude and self-reliance. He relished the quiet mornings, the freedom to structure his day as he pleased. He picked up his old hobbies, joined a local senior center, and reconnected with old friends. Most importantly, he found a renewed sense of purpose and self-worth. He was no longer just Grandpa, but Andy, a man with his own interests, passions, and a life filled with meaning. Section 7. Striking a balance. Love, boundaries, and respect. The decision to live separately brought a newfound harmony to the family. Visits became more cherished, phone calls more frequent. They had discovered the delicate balance between familial love and the importance of personal space. Andy's story highlights the importance of open communication, mutual respect, and the recognition that sometimes the most loving act is to create space for individual growth and happiness. Section 8. Navigating family ties in the golden years. Living with adult children in old age can be a rewarding experience, but it's not without its challenges. Open and honest communication is crucial to navigate these challenges successfully. Families need to discuss expectations, boundaries, and responsibilities to ensure that everyone feels respected and valued. It's also important to remember that independence is not a sign of detachment, but a vital aspect of well-being, even in later life. Section 9. Practical tips for harmonious family relationships. For families considering multi-generational living, here are a few practical tips. Open communication. Discuss expectations, living arrangements, and financial responsibilities beforehand. Respect boundaries. Recognize the need for personal space and time alone. Maintain independence. Encourage elderly parents to pursue their hobbies and interests. Show appreciation. Regularly express gratitude for each other's contributions. By embracing these principles, families can create a loving and supportive environment where everyone can thrive. Section 10. Words of wisdom, balancing love and independence. The beauty of family lies in its ability to offer both roots and wings. This quote beautifully encapsulates the essence of navigating family ties in later life. While family provides a sense of belonging and support, it's equally important to encourage individual growth and independence. Remember, the goal is not just to live together, but to thrive together, respecting each other's journeys while cherishing the unique bond that family brings.